Microphone check, 1, 2. What is this? 5 foot is had it with this. Oh, let's see. No? Beat out of you, smack teeth out of you. You more problem, F algebra. No middle ground in my character. I don't argue with you lames, either politely explain or it's bang monster. I'm having an issue with my light right now. Just won't let me be great. I don't know what it is. But if y'all can hear me, let me know. Oh, y'all can hear me? All right, great. Let me see something. Yeah. Let me put the light on. Shortage in the light. All right, so welcome to the nation, y'all. Monster Nation, that is. I'm your host. I'm your tour guide. I'm the president. I'm the king around here. The landlord, the owner, tenant, janitor, I'm monster damn floor. With you, if you don't follow the rules are you gotta like, comment, subscribe, and we're back. Hit the bell for all notifications. If you try and be a tax-paying citizen of the nation, leave us a super thanks or a cash app. We actually prefer cash app, but y'all do y'all. Super thanks is cool too, whatever. Y'all know the terms. When you're writing on the wall, spell things correctly. All our dignitaries, our monuments, our legends, elected officials, it's ROCK, not ROC. Crips get a pass, but throw a little cuz or something in the comment. If you don't want to put yourself out there, then spell it correct. Helter Skelter, not Helter Skelter. A's and H's, no E's and R's. Monster, not Monster. It's an A, no ER. And it's BCC, not BBC. Understand? Pause protesters, get your ass out of here. We all pause practitioners here. Get out your feelings. We having fun. I don't need to explain this every video, but yeah. Happy New Year's. Happy New Year. I didn't say this earlier in my earlier video today. I just be shooting from the hip. Hopefully everybody has good, some New Year's resolutions and all of that. I know people be like, hey, you want to make your New Year's resolutions? You should start today. Use whatever you need to start and start. I'm with it. Tell yourself whatever you need to tell yourself to get yourself motivated. I'm all for that. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Boston in the building. Yeah. Dame Dash. I was wrong, I think. Either I was wrong or he's even better at this than I thought he was. He's a black belt, an 8th-degree black belt at hiding money. Because that is what I assumed he was doing all this time. We remember when 50 Cent had a lawsuit or something, and whatever it was, he filed bankrupt. Did any of us really believe did any of us really believe he was broke? We all assumed, I think most of us assumed that, he was just being strategic and, for lack of a better term, moving some things around, hiding money. I thought that's what Dame was doing. If you Google Rick Ross's finances and 50's finances, so that's all, pocket watch as they call it, it has Rick Ross higher than 50. You could believe what the numbers say on your computer if you want, or you cannot. I happen to think that, it's so many ways to hide money from, you could put things in your trust, you could put things in family members' names, and so on and so forth where it don't, So I thought that Dame, being you know, being someone who rose to power and the way he did in the 90s and all of that, and the way he presented himself, the last thing I was thinking was that he was for real broke. But they talking about he has to sell, or he sold his film company. What was it they said what's the terms they use? Let me see. It's crazy. He sold his film company for $100.05 is what I read. And that's just crazy because the reason why I think that that's such an indicator of a bad situation is because the I just feel like that was one of Son's babies. You know what I'm saying? That was one of Dame's. I feel like he loved that company. When he was going at it with Fifth and Cam and all that, talking about, yeah, let's go let's go show for show and this, that, and the third. Y'all remember that back then? And he was trying to, we could battle show for show, we could battle network for network. Then later on, when his homeboys told him to chill out with all of the Cameron beef, and he was like, yo, listen, let's do something together, all of that, blah blah. He put so much. He put so much. I don't know, so much intention, attention, energy, promotion. I feel like he really loved that business, that company. It was one of the things that he valued. And to sell that, to let that go in an auction for $105. I mean, I've never auctioned nothing off. I've actually never even been to an auction in real life, right? But so I'm not going to pretend to know how this works wholeheartedly, but I can assume from common sense that once you put the thing up for auction, you can probably, maybe you can say don't sell it for nothing less than this. But if you don't do that, ain't no, you understand what I'm saying? It ain't no turning back. It ain't no control over what you receive for it. So the fact that nobody would bet higher than $100, and the person who bought it, I don't know dude name and all of that, but he's somebody that had multiple lawsuits against Dame before, or Dame had multiple lawsuits against him. Salute the Lord Hybrid. Thanks for your donation. What you say? Dame been broke for years, but in this case, he lost the judgment, and it was auctioned off. Nobody put in a bid, so the dude suing him got it for $100. Dame blew his fortune on flexing. I mean, I have no retort. I have no rebuttal for that. You know what I mean? Like, all I'm saying is I'm just over here calling a spade, being the spade being me, because I was out here talking about Dame ain't broke. I was out here talking that he not broke, because when you see him, he looked like he alright. These ranches and farms and nice office spaces and wine. I mean, like, none of us show the bad parts. We all got some. I just posted something today. I ain't posted, but I shared it to my stories. It was something I saw, and it was like a piece of. Here it is, right here. Look, I'm gonna show it to y'all right quick. Look, this. And it's backwards, but what it says is behind every seemingly perfect person, there is a mess you can't see. I had to read that backwards, so I'm saying, don't judge me. You understand what I'm saying? So decorative on the front, but on the back, that shit is a mess. You know what I mean? He said Mayweather broke too. Listen, what I'm saying is this. Broke to some people ain't broke to other people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's different levels of broke. You know what I mean? Like, there's broke because I just paid all my bills broke. There's broke. I didn't pay all my bills. I'm about to this broke. I don't got nowhere to live. You understand what I'm saying? And this broke. I gotta fly economy as opposed to private or even first class. But some people can't. Some people ain't never been on a plane. They you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody spending multiple hundreds to get. No, that's some people reality. So I took the mindset. I was thinking like it's levels to broke. Yeah, maybe he broke compared to him, and broke compared to where he used to be, and broke compared to some of these billionaires and whoever else and Jay-Z and 50 and whatever. But I was sure he had more money than I got. Is what I'm saying. But yikes, what's really going on? What's really happening? You know what I'm saying? It looks bad. I mean, not never mind the way it looks. I mean, it is bad. And you know, if I'm being honest, probably I was probably just rooting for Dame because like, and I feel like in his heart of hearts, when I observe his situation, when I observe his career and his presence in the game, Dame was always fighting, arguing, and beefing, but for the right things most of the times. Like as far as the way the story was painted out to me, he ain't never, he wasn't trying to harm us. He was trying to help us. This nigga just was using a hammer when he should have been using a screwdriver. You know what I'm saying? And I'm way, like if if I gotta choose between Jay Z and Dame, my natural reaction, because my bias determines that I'm a roll with the rapper, right? You understand what I'm saying? That's why a lot of dudes, like whoever went with Jay, they went with Jay because he was Jay. I don't think they went with him because they thought that Dame was a bad person. You understand what I'm saying? But I digress. You know, I got a, I got, I know a lot of personalities. I know a lot of personalities. I got friends and homies and associates that, you know, um, the wide spectrum of personalities. And I know some Dame Dash ass niggas, some niggas that don't care how they talk. They think you supposed to just get the message. You don't care if they cursed you out. Stop being a bitch ass nigga and take the medicine, right? But I'll be like, like I always take the approach of this. I know my personnel. You have to know your personnel, and know that no two people are alike. We all have our similarities, but we all have our differences. And some people, especially when you know about mental health and just behavioral sciences and all of that. I might have used behavioral sciences incorrectly, but what I'm saying is, that people brains work different. You know your personnel, and you go, that ain't gonna work on him, but it might work on him. I got to use a different strategy for him because what's more important to me than being my authentic self, me not speaking like no sucker. What's more important to me is you receiving the message I'm trying to deliver. You understand what I'm saying? So that was that's how I look at the situation. That was how and because of that, I never, I was able to see something in a certain light. And I'm like, this nigga ain't a bad nigga. Just a bad communicator. You know what I'm saying? That nigga could go to, it's classes for that. Shit don't happen for no reason. You don't go from hundreds of millions to where, yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. But yeah, um, what y'all think? What's his next move? Do y'all think Dame will bounce back, or y'all think he's going to fall, he's going to drift off further and further into obscurity and shame if he's ashamed? I don't know if he's ashamed or whatever, but he probably is. I wouldn't be surprised. I would be ashamed. I'd be ashamed. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I don't come on here without a hat on if I ain't got no haircut. I would definitely be ashamed if, you know what I'm saying? This is therapy for me, real talk. Yeah, therapy is, listen, we all need therapy, B. I think we all need a little bit of therapy, especially growing up in America. I used to say every black man in America, but nope. I think everybody needs some therapy in America. We need a whole species of qualified individuals to therapize us all because you know what I'm saying? Some like, I always felt that growing up in America as a black man, you gonna need that. You got some PTSD, you probably got some sort of depression. You understand what I'm saying? You got all the kind of neurodivergence and all of that. That's on both sides. And you know, on the black side, on the white side, I mean, they might not have the same PTSD, but they might need therapy to unlearn the bullshit that they learned. You know what I'm saying? You got some people that a lot of the people on the other side, the white people and all that, who the bad whites, they really believe in the same truth that the same lie that was being taught to us was being taught to them. While they was teaching us that we was inferior, they was teaching them the same thing. The same way we believed that shit for however long we believed it, they still believe it. You understand what I'm saying? And to tell them the real truth, that's you might as well smack. It's going to feel like you hit them in the face with a spike bat, and they're going to defend themselves against it. They need therapy. We all need therapy. Word up. Anyway, if y'all made it to the end of this video, let me get 4 microphones. Have a happy new year. Have a prosperous new year. And everybody, please, 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 try to be nicer to each other. Everybody is going through something. You heard? Rock on, rock on. Go watch my Knicks.